Welcome to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, another isometric RPG game, not unlike Baldur's Gate or the one we played before, King Arthur. And supposedly it's very close to D&D rules, and it's relatively complex and technical, and some people don't like it at all, and others have invested more than 1,000 hours into this and are the biggest fans of them all. So we're... okay. So there's a main story and there are 2 DLCs right now. And game difficulty, what the heck? So we have story. The damage your character suffers from enemies and traps is reduced by 80%. Enemies are extremely weak and cannot critically hit. Your character will not die after suffering a deadly injury. Instead, they'll fall unconscious until the end of the battle. If all your characters fall unconscious, the game is over. Yeah, that's not what I want. If casual, by 60%, significantly weak, cannot critically hit, yeah, no. Inflict death's door condition, I don't care. If your main character dies, the game is over. If a companion dies, you can resurrect them with a raise dead or similar spell. An extremely expensive service unavailable to most adventurers. Okay, so casual, no. I read about that the game is very difficult, so some people even say play casual. It's not easy. Sometimes it's just RNG. You have to play a battle over and over and over again until you have enough RNG to defeat them, the enemies. And we have normal. 20% weak, reduced damage on critical hits. Will not die after suffering a deadly injury for the first time. Instead they'll be afflicted by the death's door condition. If a character with this condition suffers a deadly injury, then they will die. Resting in a comfortable and safe place removes the death's door condition. Your character can still die from an instant death effect, energy drain, poison or other similar conditions. Okay, and we have daring. The only difference is the damage is slightly weaker, reduced damage on critical hits. This choosing difficulty is not recommended for players not familiar with the Pathfinder system. I never played Pathfinder, so I mean, we could go for unfair immediately, but I'm pretty sure that will not be fun. So we're going with daring. Maybe it will be a mistake, but we'll see. If everything goes wrong, we'll just restart the game. Even though we can even customize this. So let's see what we have. We have critical hits. Off, weak, normal, okay. Death's door on. Dead companions rise after combat. Yeah, no. Remove negative effects on rest. Blindness, ability damage, and numerous other negative effects will be removed immediately upon resting. Remove controlling effects after combat. Okay, auto level up. Toggles automatic leveling up from party members. When on, gaining levels happens automatically, and you can monitor how the hero's skills and abilities develop. You can turn off automatic leveling up for any companion, but then you'll have to manage the development for the remainder of the game. Okay, so we can't just switch it on and off and on and off again. Just for companions, sure, why not? Slightly weaker enemies. Damage not reduced. Number of enemies. Affects the size of combat counters and sometimes the power of enemies in them. In the increased mode, many challenging combat encounters will have even more enemies, and some enemies will be replaced with more powerful ones. Additional enemy behaviors. Yeah, no, let's chill hard on that one. The party's speed depends on the weight you're carrying. Oh no. Weather effects. Yeah, light. Enable character retrain. When enabled, allows a certain NPC in the game to retrain your characters and companions. Changing this option will change the game's difficulty setting to custom. Crusade management difficulty. Crusade? Wait, we have a crusade? Crusade auto mode. In this mode, the strategic management of the crusade continues without the player's involvement. Once activated, this mode cannot be deactivated. It has no effect on the main story, but some side quests associated with crusade might become impossible to complete. The defeat of the Crusader armies becomes impossible. Wait, what? There are Crusader armies? Demons? What is this game? It sounds very interesting. Demon forts blocking access to the captured regions will be liberated in stages. Only active companions receive experience? No. I want to level them all, even if they're not part of a party. Only skill user receives skill check experience. What? If you enable this option, only the character who rolls an ability check will gain experience for his success. What is an ability check? Oh, is it rolling? Oh, right, D&D, okay. Disable, no. Last Atlanti mode. Only one slot is unavailable in this mode. The game saves automatically in key points upon game exit. No, I want manual saves. That's why I'm playing on a PC. If I want an auto-save system, I can buy a console. Immersive mode. This mode disables almost all interface hints in combat. Lines of attack, current enemy actions, cooldown timers. It shows your character's actions and enemies' health bars. No. Short tutorial, yeah, I want a tutorial. Okay, so let's just start this. The main story. What can we see? So, is that a demoness lady? I mean, she has these fleshy wings. This one looks like a dwarf. This one looks like, I don't know, priestess or something. This one is maybe an angel. I mean, damn, the artwork is beautiful with this flaming red sword. And these little demons try. Oh, there's a Templar. Oh, Crusade, of course. Whoa. Oh, another Templar. Okay, I might like this game very much. Join the struggle. I mean, at least this initial artwork is very pleasing. Join the struggle against the world wound. The epic war between Golarion and the Abyss. That has raged for more than 100 years. Up to now, the Crusader armies have barely managed to curb the overwhelming enemy forces, but not for much longer. The demon lords are preparing to strike a decisive blow. You will have to harness mythic powers, take command of the 5th Crusade, and lead it against the demonic hordes. So, there are at least 5 crusades, even though that doesn't always work. If you look at the military, for example, US military, they have battalions numbering in the hundreds, even though they have in total maybe a dozen. Sometimes certain numbers of battalions or armies, historical numbering, they're just kept, even though they don't even exist anymore. They just continue numbering. It doesn't always make sense. It's just military tradition. And maybe I mean, the 5th Crusade, maybe, it depends. Do we have 5 Crusades or more? Or does it mean that there was the first one, then there was the second, and the third, like in our history? So, we'll see. Maybe there's only one Crusade. Anyway, let's go. Oh yeah, we did that already. Oh dear. Okay, I can see this will not. So, portrait, gender, deity, alignment, appearance, voice, name, result. Okay. So apparently a party consists out of 6 units, 6 heroes. These are create pre-generated characters. These are pre-generated, right? So we have Daolin, a half-elf. But do we have to choose one? Let me guess. We could create a custom one, or we could just choose one. So the pre-made ones, we have Daolin, a half-elf, cavalier, melee combat. Pre-made build balance. Difficulty 2 out of 5. While many warriors strive to perfect their arts, spending all of their time honing their skill at martial arms, others spend as much effort dedicating themselves to a cause. These warriors, known as chevaliers, swear themselves to a purpose, serving it above all else. Cavaliers are skilled at fighting from horseback, and are often found charging across a battlefield with a symbol of their order trailing on a long, fluttering banner. The cavalier, she looks ill. Very, I mean, her skin could use a bit color, and the reddish eyes, that's a bit disturbing. The symbol of their order trailing the cavalier's true power comes from the conviction of his ideals, the oath that he swears, and the challenges he makes. Features and abilities. So, animal companion. Oh, they're a companion. There's a companion system. The character chooses a companion from the list of available animals. Animal companion can wear barding and gains new abilities as they advance. Okay, order. Each cavalier chooses an order to join. Their order gives them ability to challenge an enemy, gaining advantages against them. Each order gives the challenge its own unique advantage. It also gives the cavalier additional abilities as they advance. Tactician. The character gains bonus command feats that empower allies who fight side by side if they have the same feats and give their effects to all teammates. So we have 6 basic ability scores. Strength, Constitution, Wisdom, Dexterity, Intelligence, Charisma. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. And we have several skills. We have Athletics. The skill depends on Strength ability score. Armor penalties apply to the skill checks. Athletics represent the character's talent at deeds of physical prowess, such as leaping or scaling walls. Here are examples where you apply your character's athletics skill to move a heavy object, climb an obstacle, jump. Mobility. Move past opponents without provoking attacks of opportunity, squeeze through tight spots, climb and jump. Jump, jump. So mobility and athletics both count for jumping. Trickery. Disarm traps or devices, open locks and doors and chests. Yes. Avoiding random encounters in global map. Okay, so there is global map apparently. During rest. Ah, random encounters on rest. Yeah, we've seen that in King Arthur. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Moving past enemies without them noticing. Okay. Knowledge. Arcane spells, so there's of course a wizard system. During camping. Identification of found magical items, so magical items need to be identified. Learn spells from spell books and scrolls. Group potions during camping. Decipher writing in foreign languages. Recall knowledge. Geography, history, locals, nobility. Law. Allows you to recall knowledge about dungeons or nature, so there's a dungeon system. Delays fatigue while traveling on the world map. Law, religion. Divine spells, scrolls, scribing during camping? Wait, divine spells, scrolls, scribing. Jesus. That's a tongue breaker. Divine spells, scrolls, scribing. Divine spells, scrolls, scribing. Gives an ability to cure a disease, recall knowledge about the planes or religions. Perception. Notice traps and hidden objects, that's quite important. Determine your chances to be not surprised in case of a sudden attack on your camp. So apparently there's a camp system with a world map and dungeons, that's interesting. Persuasion. Manipulate other people through negotiation, deceit or intimidation. Use magic device. Okay. There's a system of magic devices. Activate wands and scrolls that you would normally be unable to use. Okay, so we have a half-elven chevalier. We have a cleric, Sordara, Oriad. Support magic. 3 out of 5 difficulty. More than capable of upholding the honor of their deities in battle, clerics often prove stalwart and capable combatants. Their true strength lies in their capability to draw upon the power of their deities, whether to increase their own and their allies' prowess in battle, to vex their foes with divine magic, or to lend healing to companions in need. As their powers are influenced by their faith, all clerics must focus their worship upon a divine source. I have a bit of a problem. I'm not sure if there's a duel system. If our main character has to win duels, I'm not going for a support mage. A support mage will not be able to win any duels. That would be ridiculous. So we're probably going for something melee or a real mage, not something of support nature. He can, okay, this cleric can channel energy. Every cleric chooses a deity and based on that deity's alignment gains the ability to channel either positive. There are a couple mistakes I already noticed in that text. I mean, guys, is nobody, I don't know, fact-checking, error-checking these texts? Or am I wrong? I mean, I'm not a native speaker, so maybe I'm wrong. Either negative or negative. The channeled energy either heals or damages all creatures around the cleric. It Its effect depends on whether the targets are alive or undead. Makes sense. Domains. Each deity provides access to several domains of power. The Cleric chooses 2 of them. The domains grant the Cleric additional spells and abilities, and can seriously affect their specialization. Spontaneous spells. Every time a Cleric rests, they prepare a limited number of spells. The Cleric can limited. Oh. So it doesn't just automatically regenerate like in King Arthur. I mean, that's not good. So I'm probably not going to choose a mage. I don't like limited number of spells. I want unlimited number, but with cooldown. A Cleric can spend a prepared spell to cast either a Cure Wounds or Inflict Wounds spell, depending on the kind of energy that can channel. They can channel. It doesn't have the following features. Atheism. Yeah, well, if you have to choose a deity, and that is a real deity, and it provides access to a source of power, of course you're not an atheist. Okay. We have Yunlard, a human fighter. Oh! Hello there. Fighters excel at combat, 1 out of 5 difficulty, defeating their enemies, controlling the flow of battle, and surviving such sorties themselves. While their specific weapons and methods grant them a wide variety of tactics, few can match fighters for sheer battle prowess. Combat feats. A fighter gains twice as many feats as the other classes. Some of these feats are directly connected to combat abilities. They also have access to unique feats that increase their damage and chance to hit. Weapon mastery. A fighter can choose a group of weapons and gain bonuses to damage and chance to hit while wielding them. As a fighter advances, they can choose additional weapon groups or gain new unique powers. That sounds awesome. Fighters make the most of the use of their armor. As they advance, they reduce the penalty for wearing it. Defense, melee combat, ranged combat. Ooh. He's very interesting. Rix. Small gnome. Oh, that's cute. Rogues excel at moving about unseen and catching foes unaware, and tend to avoid head-to-head combat. Their varied skills and abilities allow them to be highly versatile, with great variations and expertise existing between different rogues. Most, however, excel in overcoming hindrances of all types, from unlocking doors and disarming traps, to outwitting magical hazards and conning dull-witted opponents. Sneak attack. Most characters gain advantages when they flank an enemy. We've seen that one, backstabbing. Attack an enemy who can't see them, or enjoy a similar fortunate position. But only rogues and slayers deal a tremendous amount of additional damage in such a situation. As a rogue advances, they can choose unique special abilities in addition to the regular feats, empowering them in combat and making them more useful outside it. Debilitating injury. Wait, I need to read that again. As a rogue advances, choose unique special ability. Okay. Okay. So there are special abilities and feats. Debilitating injury. Whenever a rogue lands a sneak attack, they can also inflict a special wound that would impose a negative effect on the enemy. There are many kinds of negative effects available, and the rogue can choose which one of them to inflict. We have Malnoon, a tiefling slayer. Skilled at tracking down targets, slayers are consummate hunters living for the chase and the deadly stroke that brings it to a close. Slayers spend most of their time honing their weapon skill, studying the habits and anatomy of foes, and practicing combat maneuvers. Ranged combat. So the pre-made build balance. There's melee combat, ranged, control, relative effectiveness of a class, and summoning creatures. Summoning creatures! And controlling enemies while using the pre-made build. Relative effectiveness of a class and casting offensive magic while using the pre-made build. Support. Yeah, I don't care. Defense. Dodging and saving throws while using the pre-made build. I mean, he looks very balanced. Most balanced. Okay. Studied target. This active ability gives the Slayer bonuses to damage and chance to hit against a studied target. Yeah, additional ability, Sneak attack, okay, we've seen that one. And we have Engi, a human sorcerer. Sorcerers excel at casting a selection of favorite spells frequently, making them powerful battle mages. As they become familiar with a specific and ever-widening set of spells, the sorcerers often discover new and versatile ways of making use of magics other spellcasters might overlook. Their bloodlines also grant them additional abilities, ensuring that no two sorcerers are ever quite alike. Is that a dragon? Please tell me that we have dragons in this game. Every sorcerer descends from a creature that possesses innate magic, such as dragons, fae, devils, etc. The bloodline grants a sorcerer a number of available spells, unique feats, and abilities. It helps to empower their chosen specialization. What? Okay. So all of this sounds interesting. And I would like to choose Unilart, but I don't like the name. Portrait. So we could change the... Can we also change... Oh, we can change the name. Okay, so let's just change Unilart. I want to play it relatively safe for the beginning. So, portrait. Oh, that doesn't look bad. Kingmaker characters. Oh, that doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, that's not going to be our portrait. There we are. Oh, we have real dwarfs. Nice. Oh, he looks dashing. And Kingmaker was the game that came before this one. I wanted to let's play that, but it's older. And apparently it had a lot of problems from a gameplay, quality of life perspective, and apparently they've fixed that in this game, at least I believe they did. People at least wrote that. Oh, there's an orc. Well, this looks like an interesting game and world. Okay, so that's us.